This is a Rogue Media Network podcast.
Hey guys, this is Good Work Waco, and I'm your host, Lydia Tate. Well, welcome to Good Work Waco. I am so glad you joined us today. I am here with Natalie Kalinsky from the Waco Foundation. Since 1958, Waco Foundation has been making an impact in Waco through strengthening nonprofits and promoting philanthropy across our community and stewarding change in our community in ways that just absolutely will amaze you. I am so glad you've joined us today. Let's talk. Natalie,
yeah, thank
welcome.
you for having me. I really appreciate it and happy to be here.
Yay. Well, Good Work Waco is we're trying to be a megaphone for nonprofits in Waco, and this is what you do. And so I'm so excited you're here because Waco Foundation, this is what you guys do too. Y'all are here to promote nonprofit and wellness in the community and stewardship in the community. I want to talk all about that. Tell me about the history of Waco Foundation.
So you mentioned we were founded in 1958 by a man named R.B. Parrott. And if you are in Waco and you see Parrott Avenue, that was also named after his family. He was born in Waco and moved to New York after he graduated. Worked on the stock exchange. And then when the market crashed, he ended up moving to Indianapolis, which is the birthplace of community foundations. And he really felt like the model was something that he wanted to bring back to his hometown. And so he did. And he started the foundation with a bequest in his estate. And here we are today, $172 million later.
Oh, my stars.
Because of his vision and what he wanted for his community. And we're actually one of the older community foundations in Texas because of Mr. Parrott's vision.
That's amazing. And it started with $30,000.
Yes.
Just a gift in their estate. It's just really incredible to think that how much it's grown in less than 100 years. That's amazing. And you guys, you're working with now $172 million, and that's funneling into the community on an annual basis. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So much of that is going right back into our nonprofits in the community. Tell us about how you grew from that seed into what we know now.
So a couple of different ways. One of the things a community foundation can really help with is stewarding charitable dollars when people have a love for the community and they want to do something, but maybe they want to spread it across the nonprofit sector or for the benefit of everybody in the community. And so over the years, we've been incredibly fortunate to receive several large bequests that were unrestricted that we could use for community benefits. So Mr. Stephen Goldstein, Lyle K. Masterson, Mr. Kent Keith, our most recent from Malcolm Duncan Sr., who many people, remember fondly. And we were able to take those assets and then invest them. Yeah. So we have a big part of Waco Foundation's job and the job of our board is to prudently manage the assets that are entrusted to us. And so we invest it and grow those assets over time. And then, of course, through the generosity of everyday folks in Waco, our donors and our supporters and our nonprofits, we've been able to grow to what we are today and have so much more to do.
It's really tremendous things that you guys are doing and how y'all are shepherding those funds and taking such good care of those investments. I want us to talk a little bit about what does it mean to bequest, because maybe not all of our listeners really understand how a foundation really works. What do we mean when we say bequest? What does it mean to invest in a foundation and then return that money back into the community? What exactly is that mechanism?
Yeah. So in very simple terms, a bequest is a gift that you leave in your estate plans. So the way most people think about it is in your will, you have a provision in there that says, I want to leave X amount or X percentage to my children, to my church, to my nonprofit that I've supported. And so that is a bequest. And that is a very time-honored tradition of leaving funds to nonprofits. Yeah. But I also want to encourage people to think about other ways. So certainly leaving a nonprofit in your estate plans is wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Some people, though, have worked their estate plans in a way where maybe they don't have a will or they
Mm-hmm.
don't want to probate. And so we're seeing lots of folks include charity as beneficiaries either in their retirement plan or in their life insurance.
Okay.
So just like in your retirement plan, you name your beneficiaries and you can have typically as many as you want. What we're seeing is people saying, okay, I'm going to leave 90% to my heirs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to leave 10% to these charities.
Yeah.
Or to Waco Foundation to give to these charities.
Give to these charities, yeah.
So it avoids probate.
Yeah.
You're not tasking your family or your executor with anything extra.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a very simple, you just go online typically or to whoever your provider is and make a change to your beneficiary.
That's so easy.
Your IRA,
Yeah.
your 401k, your life insurance, those are really simple ways if you want to include charity in your plans to do that.
That's great. And that takes away the burden also of trying to figure out how to bequest if you don't really have an estate or something like that. There's the small ways that we can make an impact. Yeah. I want to talk more about what all you guys can help donors convert to, because there's so many wonderful services that you can provide donors and help them empower nonprofits. And I want to talk more about that. I mean, we can donate anything. We can donate crypto.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, talk more about just the different ways that you guys can help donors connect.
So anyone who's interested in giving to any charity in McLennan County, not just Waco Foundation, and I always want to stress that because part of our mission is to promote philanthropy. And when we have gifts going to any nonprofit in McLennan County, we are meeting our mission. So anything I talk about is for all charities in McLennan County, not just Waco Foundation.
Yeah.
And we will help facilitate those gifts on behalf of any charity. But yes, most people think of when I give a gift, I'm going to write a check and give cash. And that is still the most common way to receive a donation, and it's great. But there are a lot of other ways people can donate, and they sometimes have positive tax implications.
Mm-hmm.
So when people are working on, most of the time it's larger gifts and things like that, there are some things that you can do. Crypto is a great example. So, some years we'll get several crypto Bitcoin donations, and some years we don't, and we can tell kind of when the crypto world is moving along.
Yeah.
So Waco Foundation does not actually hold crypto, but we have a partner agency. So if a donor wants to donate cryptocurrency to any nonprofit in McLennan County, they can go on our website. The transaction is all online because it's electronic currency.
That's great.
Then they can say, please send these proceeds to nonprofit XYZ or to Waco Foundation.
Yeah.
And all of that is taken care of there. So the nonprofit does not have to figure out how to accept a gift of crypto and receipt it and liquidate it and all of those things.
Right.
We do a lot of stock gifts that are like that. So many local nonprofits don't have a brokerage account to receive stock gifts. So almost every day, Waco Foundation will receive a gift of stock from a local donor on behalf of one or multiple nonprofits in McLennan County.
That's great.
So we receive it into Waco Foundation, and then we liquidate it immediately, and we distribute the proceeds to the nonprofits per the donor's request.
Yeah.
That's probably the most common, I would say, non-cash asset that we deal with. But as you know, we have helped nonprofits look at vehicles. We've looked at real estate.
We've so many things, guys.
We've liquidated many things in the name of charitable giving. And I always tell our nonprofit partners, don't say no. Give us a call see if we can help.
Let's talk about exactly that, because I've experienced this firsthand with my work in the nonprofit world, where we have accounts with the Waco Foundation. We've used you guys to help with donor advised funds, with gifts that we didn't expect to receive that we needed to help converting. Talk more about how nonprofits can benefit from this, because it's huge. It really opens up a lot of gates for giving for nonprofits.
Yeah. So Our mission is actually 4 parts. So I talked about promoting philanthropy and then strengthening nonprofits.
Perfect.
And so Waco Foundation exists as a service to our nonprofit in a number of ways. So lots of people, I think, recognize Waco Foundation for the grant making that we do in the community, which is certainly a big part of our work. But we also support nonprofits with trainings. We talk about capacity building trainings and things like that. We'll bring in super high quality speakers from all over the country and invite our nonprofits to do professional development, make their own organizations stronger.
Yeah.
We manage reserve funds and endowments. So again, talking about most nonprofits in McLennan County are on the smaller side.
Yes.
It may not make sense to have and manage your own endowment fund.
Right.
So Waco Foundation actually has a mechanism where we can pool those together, sort of like a mutual fund, but your nonprofit's fund is still separate. Everything is accounted for separately and donors can give to it. Waco Foundation handles the receipting of it. And it's really a win-win for everybody. And then I would say even just for questions or issues, questions about boards or management or finances, we are certainly not the experts in everything, but we are dedicated to helping our nonprofits get stronger. So we can help make connections, we can provide advice. To the extent that we can, we are here to support our nonprofit sector.
Yeah. And you have some great opportunities for nonprofits to access grant making too. And y'all really help coach nonprofits through the process, help them understand what they can qualify for, really walk them through how to best leverage themselves to apply and to do well in the application process. Let's talk more about that.
Yeah. So Nicole Winter, my colleague at the foundation, who's been there for over 15 years. She is wonderful. And if you've been in the nonprofit sector, you certainly know Nicole. But she and her team oversee our grant making process. And what we don't ever want is for a nonprofit to waste time, to fill out a lengthy application for something that's not going to be a fit.
Right.
And so while our board makes all of the grant making decisions, our staff under Nicole's leadership can help guide nonprofits into, okay, this is what our board has been looking at. These are the areas that we see some alignment.
Absolutely.
Here's a consideration for you, because we do. We have multiple grant types ranging from large capital to very much smaller critical needs grants. And so I always recommend any nonprofit who is considering applying for a Waco Foundation grant, call us, meet with our staff first, so that nobody is wasting time trying to run all the traps when we can really just have a frank conversation and figure out what might be a fit.
Such a strong thing for nonprofits to benefit from in Waco, to talk with Nicole, to work through those details and to really understand the process more intensely. That's not something we get to do as nonprofit leaders on a regular basis. And I think that's such an important thing to really feature for our nonprofit partners in the community and everybody in the community, to know that this is a great resource that we have. And I don't think that everyone understands how tremendous it is to connect with you guys and to really talk that through and to really learn. What is your favorite part about working at the foundation?
Oh gosh. Well, everything. So I've been there a little over 10 years, and I say one day they'll probably have to kick me out, because I do love the work of Waco Foundation. And I'm so honored to be able to serve in the capacity that I do. I would say probably right at the top of my list is when I can connect donors with causes they care about.
Love it.
One of a recent example, and kind of one that's been, it's been in the paper and in the media, was Dr. George Jurek. So he was a local dentist. I met him in 2017. He was actually looking at establishing a fund for dental health, because there's tons of research out there about how dental health impacts every other aspect of our lives.
It's huge.
I did not know all of this before meeting Dr. Jurek. So the first thing he did with us is he established a fund at Waco Foundation that allows patients of Heart of Texas Behavioral Health Network to access dental services at Waco Family Medicine. So a partnership between those two organizations, Waco Foundation manages the fund, and we really just went from there. So I got to know him. We actually had a standing Monday call for years. And he ended up, I was able to learn about the things that he was interested in, what he wanted to do. He was very clear he wanted to leave his estate to charity. And so when the new Waco Family Medicine Health Center was being built, he was interested in a dental clinic. And so he did. We met with them, and he left $1 million in his estate to support the dental clinic at the new facility. And then the rest of it, he left to split between a couple of local nonprofits that he supported. And so I felt so fortunate to be able to have that time with him to understand his values and the things that he wanted to do, and then use the resources that the foundation has to connect him with the organizations that can actually do it. And so to see all of that come full circle, he passed away about 18 months ago. And I do think that he would be so proud of what he worked for his whole life is now doing for people in the community.
Wow, what an amazing opportunity that you have to connect donors to causes that they love and to really support them living into that legacy. It's just really tremendous.
That's why they're going to have to kick me out.
That's okay. That's why they're having to kick you out.
Gosh. And so that really needs us to talk about how you guys are impacting change in the community. Duncan Scholars, the Forever Fund, the Avenue, the new facility is called the Avenue, which this is so fun, you guys. Pie Society. Let's talk more about those specific programs and how you guys are affecting change in the community.
And I just love every single one of them. Yeah. When you were naming them, I thought that's my favorite thing to talk about. But no, that's my favorite thing to talk about.
It's like your children. Favorite child.
Yes, they're all different and all so wonderful. So I'll kind of start with Duncan Scholars, which I mentioned Malcolm Duncan Sr. and the bequest that he left. And that was really to transform a program that he started in 1995 to support local students going to college. And so when it was started, it was a very broad program that was giving out smaller amounts of money to help lots of students in college. And when he left us the bequest, he said, I want you to figure out how to increase success rates, increase completion rates, and reduce student debt.
Okay.
And so we revamped the program. And it is now called Duncan Scholars. And so right now it supports Waco ISD students. If you are in the program, you go to MCC at no cost, and then can go on to get your bachelor's degree either at Tarleton Tech or Baylor University, and we have full tuition scholarships for that. So that's that reducing.
Those is full tuition.
That's the reducing debt part. But then in addition to that, we learned that money is not enough a lot of times, especially for first-gen students, students from lower income families. And so I think we've seen some incredible data from the first 3 years that we're doing this, a real increase in retention rates and things like that. And it's because we have dedicated staff to walk hand in hand with these students. They meet with them on a regular basis. We have an emergency fund in partnership with MCC where if someone has car trouble, needs help with rent, is maybe has to pay some medical bills or needs to see a doctor and has never done that before.
Go to the dentist.
So we have staff who are really spending their time making sure these students have everything else they need so that they can focus on school and completing their degree. And that's where we've really seen the difference being made, and it's been very successful so far. After next year, we'll have a full 4 years of data to be able to show the community, but right now it's trending at about almost 40% higher than state averages in terms of retention. So we're thrilled with that.
Oh, those wraparound services, that wraparound support is
Makes all the
huge.
difference.
It makes all the difference it makes all the difference for high school students and it makes all the difference for college students too. That's just incredible. I love that you guys are doing it that way.
Yeah.
That's great. Keep going.
So yeah, okay. So next,
Next child.
the Forever Fund. We just finished up our second year of the Forever Fund, and we really started this as a way to engage the next generation of Wacoans. So I sometimes say Waco Foundation is a best kept secret amongst most of the community because we don't solicit for dollars. We don't want to compete with our nonprofits, and we have received these bequests that have enabled us to operate as the foundation. But we do want people to know about us, and we do want people to engage in philanthropy. And so the Forever Fund was really started in an effort to get to know the next generation of donors and philanthropists in Waco. So I say we say for the young, but young is open to interpretation. I'm included. It's for the young and the young at heart.
I can do it.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Anybody can do it. Anybody can do it.
Art.
Exactly. And so you pay a membership due of $250. We pool that together. The Waco Foundation, our unrestricted, our board also allocates some dollars to it. And then we hold a concert. This year we had the Warren Treaty, which if you are familiar with them or not familiar with them, you should become familiar with them. It was amazing that we got them here in Waco. And so we collect all of that, pool it together, and then the membership selects a nonprofit to award it to. So this year we gave it to the Cove. And it was just under 40,000, right? Around 39. I can't remember the exact, but a completely unrestricted grant that the membership chose. They were able to learn about the work of the Cove. They get involved with Waco Foundation, and it's been wonderful. And I'm so excited to see people participate at a smaller level. I mean, we know that especially young folks raising families, have careers, it can be really hard to commit to something. And so this is a way to be involved at whatever level you want to be involved, but be a part of something that's really big. And so we grew this year and hope next year will be even bigger.
Okay, so how many members do you have in the Forever Fund right now?
We have over 200 members. Great. Yes, I should have had the exact amount, but it's over 200. And this year we opened it up to business members too, as a way to showcase. I mean, we're targeting their workers. Absolutely. And so businesses were really excited. I think we had about 15 or so join us and say, yeah, this is great. We want our employees to be involved and we want to be involved too.
Oh, I love that. That's great that you've opened it to the businesses now. Small businesses could really, that's a great way for them to invest a little bit and really see some return back. Okay, let's talk about the Avenue.
The Avenue.
Oh, it's so pretty.
Thank you.
It's so pretty. I was in there talking with Greater Waco Legal.
Yes.
This past week, last month.
Yes.
Christmas, you guys.
Our first tenant, Greater Waco Legal Services. So the Avenue, it's at 1224 Austin Avenue, which is why it's called the Avenue. And it's really a model. So it is a building. It's an iconic building. It was the first federal savings and loan building. You've driven past it a million times. But we really want to change it into something that is by and for the community. And so Waco Foundation is renovating the space. We have completed the second and third floor of the building, and it is available for nonprofit tenants. And then the first floor will house Waco Foundation and a community room that can be used by any nonprofit organization who needs a larger meeting or a presentation or things like that. So we're hoping it'll be complete, early summer is what we're shooting for. If you drive by right now, you'll see lots of construction and things going on. But I think what's so neat about it is it won't just be an office building. It will be very unique to Waco. One of my favorite pieces of the design is that the pebbles in the floor are actually from the Brazos River.
Really?
Yes. So when you walk in, we will have a custom chandelier that is designed to mirror the suspension bridge. So it is a very unique Waco space. It's going to be designed to tell the full story of Waco and be an inviting space for all of our community to be a part of. And then with that, we're also launching our shared services, which for nonprofits who qualify will include like back office HR and accounting and things like that, because we've heard from nonprofits, this is hard. We don't always need a full-time person, but we need somebody dedicated to it. And so we're really working to expand our programming to be able to offer this on a larger scale to our nonprofit community.
That's really great.
It's
That is
very
a
exciting.
huge service. I can't wait for that to get the launch. That's going to be amazing
Yeah.
for our nonprofit community members. Okay, let's talk about the Pie Society.
Pie Society.
Slice of the pie.
Yeah,
guys.
yes. So we were talking about bequest earlier. And really what we want to promote is your assets, your estate, whatever you want to call it, your home, your bank accounts, your retirement account is all part of your pie. And we really want people to consider leaving a piece of your pie to local charity. So this all came from a transfer of wealth study that was done, I guess about 10 years ago, where billions of dollars are transferring over the next 30 years between generations. And so if local charity captures just a piece of that, it would be transformative, truly transformative for our nonprofit sector and the way this community looks. And so we are encouraging people, if you either have committed to leaving whatever slice, it can be the tiniest slice or it can be a big slice. We want to know so that we can honor you. We always we publicize our membership because we want people to see their friends, their family, their coworkers who have already committed to it. And we want to know about as many people as possible who are doing it so that we can honor their legacy gift. And then if it's something that you've considered, but you just haven't sat down and thought through it all, we want to have that conversation. And so for nonprofits, we work in partnership with them. So maybe they're, a donor is leaving 5% to these 3 nonprofits. We want to help facilitate that however we can. So Pie Society is not a Waco Foundation legacy society. It is a community legacy society. So, there's pie involved. So
Who doesn't like pie?
if you sign up for it, there's benefits, small benefits, but you might get a pie or two.
Oh, I didn't know you could get a pie. It's like a
So
real
make
pie.
sure you sign up. And that's actually a separate website from Waco Foundation. You can get there.
Okay.
But it's wacopiesociety.org. And that's because it's for the community. It's not just Waco Foundation.
Perfect. Well, let's talk a little bit about some of the equity initiatives you guys work through, because this is a really, really important piece for the community, for nonprofits at large, and for philanthropy.
Yeah. So Waco Foundation understands that equity, well, it's a hot button issue, but we really believe that it should be just local to Waco. So we're not looking at kind of national or even state level narratives when we talk about equity. What we're talking about is a community where everyone who strives to succeed has the opportunity to do that. And we look at history as ways of learning about what has taken place and the impact that some of those initiatives and laws and legislation may still have today, and what we can do going forward to kind of shape our own story as Waco. So Waco has one of the most collaborative spirits of any community, and I will die on that hill.
Why I'm doing this.
Yes,
This is huge.
It is. And we're so fortunate to have that. And so when we talk about equity, we talk about it from a standpoint of Waco. And let's figure out what is Waco. And let's understand our neighbors and the struggles that they endure. And let's figure out what our community, what our businesses can do, what our schools can do, what has happened and what can happen and talk about it in a way that is unique to Waco. It's our own story. We don't have to answer and kind of fall into some of the big national things and talking points, and let's just keep it strictly to Waco.
Yeah. And I think that's important too, because
And I've spoken about this on some of our other podcasts, that the poverty disparities that exist in Waco are actually really very, very relevant. They're enormous for such a community as ours, the Distogeners, and so collaborative. We still have so much poverty to address and so much need to address in the community. And I think it's important that we continue to talk about that, because equity is an important topic, and we want Waco to experience the very best,
Right.
all of Waco to experience the very best of their lives. Well, with all of this, there comes, we want people to be able to connect. We want people to be able to connect to you. Let's talk about first nonprofits getting connected for grant making, for classes, for any sort of help with working through boards, questions, anything of that nature, and even connecting with you about setting up some funds and how can they get the vehicle that they've been asked to take in donated and taken care of. So how are we going to get nonprofits connected to the Waco Foundation?
A couple of ways. So we, I would say, follow us on social media first and foremost, because we try to use that as a platform to make sure the community knows what's going on in a variety of areas. So not just for grant making, but as a nonprofit, you will see when we have a training opportunity coming up or a reminder about the funds that we manage. So social media first, our newsletter second, and we don't bombard you. We send it out quarterly and try to ensure that everything in there is meaningful and helpful. And then our website. We have a number of resources on our website. If you're looking to start a nonprofit, if you are looking to improve your board outcomes, if you're looking at financial tools, we have lots of resources on our website specifically for nonprofits and their staff and their board. And then also on our website, you can see everyone who works at the foundation and how to contact us. And so I would say for anyone who is interested or wants to learn more about any of the initiatives, just give us a call and let us know, and we will connect you with the right person. Again, we're in Waco. We're a collaborative community, a small-ish community, and we still want to sit down and have those meetings and conversations and get to know everybody who wants to be engaged with the foundation.
Perfect. Great. So following on social media, let's talk, where can they find you on Facebook?
Facebook at Waco Foundation, and then same for Instagram. Waco FDN, I think, actually, on Instagram. And then those are also linked on our website. So our website is wacofoundation.org. If you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you can link directly to our Instagram and our Facebook.
Great. We talked a little bit about donors connecting for giving, for Pi Society. Let's repeat the Pi Society website again.
Yep, wacopie.org. And again, you can also get to it from Waco's Foundation's website. But wacopie.org, it is not branded Waco Foundation because it is for the community, but there's an opportunity on there to sign up to be a Pi Society member. And we would love for anyone interested to do that.
Forever Fund, getting connected to the Forever Fund, just to the website?
Yep, absolutely. And our social media. We do a lot of Forever Fund on social media. It's a perfect match for our younger generation, especially on Instagram. Betsy Daniels oversees the Forever Fund, and so she's out and about all the time. She would be happy to talk to anybody about the Forever Fund. And then, give us a call or shoot us an email if our website does not have the information you're looking for.
And if a donor would like to connect deeper about helping them plan their estate or helping them work through some estate questions, what's the best way for them to get in contact with you? I
would encourage them to reach out to me directly via email or phone or however. And I always say we are not attorneys. We don't provide legal advice or financial advice, but we can help kind of look at a big picture and either in concert with their attorney, their CPA, et cetera, or kind of help them get connected if that's something that they're looking to do. So we can be the first place that you start. We can be in the middle or we can be at the end, but we just want to be a part of that conversation.
Great. Okay. Lastly, I want to help connect the Duncan scholars to their opportunity
Yes.
to get some scholarship money. Okay,
Yes.
so what is the best way for any high school student that's out there following, like who may have heard this, or their mom
Yeah.
who's listening? Hey, how can they get connected and make sure that they're a part of the running for those scholarships?
So you can always reach out to us at Waco Foundation or talk to the high school counselors. So we work very closely with them at Waco High and University High. Our hope is to be able to expand Duncan Scholars to other districts in the future. We're still, even though MAC existed since 1995, this is still a fairly new transition. And so we're working to kind of prove out concept, starting small, and then hope to expand. But either reaching out to our staff directly or talking to your high school counselor.
Great. Anything else you want to share with everybody about Waco Foundation and all the impact that you're making?
I just appreciate the opportunity to be here and hope to hear from some folks who've listened and want to get connected.
Great. Well, thank you for watching Good Work Waco. Thank you, Natalie, for being here
Thank
and
you.
talking all about the Waco Foundation and the amazing work that you guys are doing to help promote financial security for nonprofits, philanthropy, and great community connection. We appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching Good Work Waco. And by the way, Good Work Waco.
If you want to learn more or get involved, follow me at Good Work Waco on social media platforms and listening platforms everywhere. And hey, by the way, Good Work Waco.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production.